And there we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Janus community meeting. We have a great presentation today, something a lot of us, especially me, are waiting for, the dynamic plugin. And here's the demo about it. It's September the 14th. It's episode 19, and I welcome the crowd. So let's see what the agenda. Oh, about Tom. Tom tries to join us. He's maybe missing in GitHub Actions, something like this. He wrote me earlier that he maybe will not make it, but that shouldn't stop us from doing the regular things. For some reason, oh, here we go. This should be the agenda. And nothing was added recently, so why not just start with a demo if David is ready? Otherwise, we can move the open forum ahead. Whatever you like, David.
If you give me some minutes, it would be
sure.
ideal.
No problem. So do we have any new topics coming up, something that need to be mentioned? Any issues that needs maybe some help or review?
Something, I don't know if this is just specific to the Red Hat Developer Hub instance, but I was running it yesterday and was trying to show somebody it, and I realized that there's no log out button, so I couldn't show off the the login provider that was set up for it. Thought that was interesting.
Anybody else experiencing this or have some ideas about it?
Yes, the logout button is kind of hide. If you go to the settings section, that is on the left side menu, you go to your like username, you will have like 3 dots, and there there is the sign out option. But okay. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I haven't checked that out, but by default it works with the default out provider. But if you implement something like the out2 proxy or something like that, you have to do something custom there to be able to log out and close the session on the single sign-on instance. That's something that needs to be implemented. I am not sure if that is yet implemented on the Janus instance. That's something that you can check out. But there is where the sign out option is. It's not the best place, but it's there.
Okay, good to know. I'll check that out next time. And yeah, I was logged in through GitLab SSO, so maybe even if I had found it, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, in my case, I am working with that. I have an implementation with single sign-on, and I'm still working on trying to move the button to a better place. I'm trying to close the session on the single sign-on instance, because by default it kind of like just threw you out to the main page, but if you refresh the page, the session is still active.
Yeah,
that's something that it's by default, and you have to implement that yourself. I am not sure if that is implemented in Janus.
okay, well, thanks for confirming.
Yeah, sure.
Any other questions, maybe, or ideas?
Yeah, I have a question just about backend databases. I believe Backstage supports like Postgres out of the box, which is fine. Just curious if anybody has tried or has run Backstage long enough to get an idea about sizing for the database. Like if a customer was going to start to run this in production or something, just get an idea of what what sort of, data store they need for the database. I know it's going to depend on how large their catalog is and things like that, but just, any sort of anything that you guys come across, would be helpful.
Well, Jason, I am working on with a customer on that, and I can check that info and share that back to you later. If
That'd be great. Yes, that'd be perfect.
We are not using like this at the scale that we are expecting, but we're working with Backstage like for a year, so we will have some info there.
Perfect.
But
yeah, I appreciate that.
The other info that can help you maybe, Jason, is because last time I asked the same to Christophe, and he shared with me the info from the summit session, where they get a lot of people using the platform on that moment, and we also get info about the memory usage and the CPU usage.
Okay,
great. I think that will be helpful too. Christophe has that.
Okay, I'll reach out to him. I appreciate it, Francisco.
Thanks, Francisco. Oops, this is David gone.
Was disconnected for some time, but I'm back. So I should be available to do the demo, unless there are some other questions for the open forum, of course.
I think we're all really excited to see it. So I'm stopped sharing my screen.
Let's start. Do you hear me correctly, by the way?
Yes, we do. At least I do.
Yeah, perfect. Let me share the screen. Just 1 second. Why? Oh, yes. Sorry, it's strange that I cannot share my screen. Touch screen. Hide. Okay, that seems to be good. Okay, do you see mainly an OpenShift topology view?
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. So in this topology view, mainly what I have is a deployed version of the Janus Showcase app, in which I did 2 changes, in fact. So I mainly just rebuilt the Showcase app Docker image and replaced the standard image by mine. And the 2 changes I did is mainly enable the dynamic backend plugins work in the Showcase applications, mainly wiring the new backend plugin manager package that has been merged upstream. And secondly, also in this app, I removed the statically linked rowdy utils scaffolder actions. If you look into the scaffolder.ts in the Showcase, Janus Showcase, we add a number of rowdy utils actions there. I removed that so that I would be able to add them as dynamic plugins on an already built Showcase application. So if we look here and we try to go into the corresponding Janus application, we go in the create and we try to list the install actions, and then I search for rowdy or for utils. I will not see anything on the. That's the main difference that for now we can see compared to the typical Janus application that you would build. Now, let me show how we would enable dynamic plugins. So install, in fact, and add dynamic plugins into an already built Backstage Janus showcase application. If I go into the Helm chart, which are values, which I use to deploy this showcase application, I can see an additional value here, dynamic plugins that I added. I can show you also probably just some where it is used. It would be used in the extra deploy here to create a config map that would contain a list of the dynamic plugin packages I want to be dynamically loaded at the start of the Backstage application. So before going more into the details or answering question, I just want to add back the RHDH scaffolder actions, but that have been built as a dynamic plugin, and for the sake of facility of ease of use, added directly into the showcase Docker image. Let me add that in the list of the dynamic plugins here. So I know, because I built this Docker image, I know that it is, in this dynamic, it has been generated through a dedicated CLI, which is named export dynamic plugin. It has been generated in the this dynamic subfolder of this scaffolder backend module utils wrapped, which is mainly just importing the dynamic, importing the RHDH utils third-party plugin and adding an entry point to make it dynamic. So this package has already been built when building the Docker image, and I will just have to refer to it here. And a mechanic which is now here in the Docker image, mainly a quite simple Python script, will go through this list of dynamic plugins and install them at an expected place that the Backstage application will be able to take in account. So let me upgrade that, and we will see that it will generate a config map. Then I will show you here dynamic plugins, which has mainly exactly just the same content, and puts this content into a YAML file that will be made available when restarting the Backstage application. So let me restart the Backstage deployment here. Restart rollout. And see what happens. Now we are initializing a new one. And if I go there and look into, oh, sorry, I didn't go to the right pod. Let me come back here in the topology view. And if we go in the new thing and we go into this init container, install dynamic plugins, we can see that it went through the various plugins of the list I showed you previously in the config map and installed that in an expected place where the Backstage application will finally be able to, at start, explore and discover all the dynamic plugins and automatically load them. If we look into the new the logs of the Backstage Janus Showcase Backstage backend app, we can see that then it loaded the dynamic backend plugin scaffolder backend module, which is wrapped dynamic. And now if we go back to the topology view and run the corresponding application, again, let's go to the create, installed actions, and search for RHDH. And we have found back the RHDH contributions of the utils scaffolder actions, but this time loaded as a dynamic plugin and not at all compiled statically with the rest of the application. Now I can show you something more. This is the case where we would like to install as a backend plugin some precompiled plugins that we can even add into the Docker image. But what if we want to add our own dynamic plugins that we would have pushed as a npm package somewhere on some organization in npm.js? Then I can show you that it's also possible. If I come back to this list here, I have a number of packages that I had made on the explicit purpose of demoing the new dynamic backend plugin feature. And I will just take them and add them in the list here in my Helm chart. Great. Just stop me. I have only one screen, so I don't see people. So if you have any question, just ask, please. Let me add this in the list. So just briefly, it adds a catalog which adds specific templates and a given location, and templates for new scaffolder actions, new scaffolder templates. And then also it adds the explore backend, and also an additional interesting, dedicated application that mixes the explore, the events, and also even sending back events back to the browser, just to showcase that. And those various plugins, they mainly use all the type of contributions that you can encounter: search contributions, scaffolder contributions, backend, root backend applications, router backend contributions as well. So let me upgrade that. And what you can see here is that I'm not referring something local here that has been built into the Docker image, but I'm referencing simply a package spec like npm pack would target. And this will simply go to my org here, DF at work, on npm.js, and download the latest version of this package and install that as a dynamic plugin once again. So if I upgrade that, it will update the config map as well. And then I can go to the topology, and it will take a bit more time to download the stuff. So I can see that here if I go into the resources. So, sorry, let me, of course, restart first. Restart rollout. Now let me go there, look into the resources, go there, and into the logs of this init container. I can see that I'm mainly installing the various plugins. Some of them are local here, built in the Docker image. Some of them are, downloaded at start of the application from npm. So now it's started the initialization. I can see that now I loaded all those plugins. Let me go in the topology now that it started and open the application again. I can see that, for example, you have additional one additional action that has been added. I will not go through, and those lists of templates as well, because the catalog contribution added a new location here, dynamic template test, and then added also a number of templates. I can see that the new contribution to the search that brings all the explore tools into the search has been added as well, as we can see in the search results here. And now if I go there and try to use this new, this specific component that I built to test all the events and all the rest of the contributions, let me go there, run that. It returns me a URL that opens a browser here. And if now I use the second template and send a message, for example, hello Explorer and events module loaded dynamically. Next step, let me create that and see that the message is returned to the browser. How does it work? That's just a detail of implementation. It's using socket.io. But I wanted to do something a bit more complicated to showcase that every dynamic plugin can be added with its own private dependencies, which are distributed along with the dynamic plugin package, so that the dynamic plugin package is completely standalone. And in this case, we embed the socket.io and all the transitive dependencies of socket.io. We embed that into the dynamic plugins, and we had to add nothing special into the main backstage application. So that's mainly how it works. And obviously, there is no UI, nothing like that for now. But since everything is driven by a simple config map in which you add this list, obviously in the future, extensions like adding a UI on top of that, or also obviously adding some sort of way to check the integrity of the package when it is downloaded, or this could be simply done by just extended or using this config map as the intermediate media for providing the list of dynamic plugins at Backstage application start. I don't know if there are any questions.
It's very cool, David.
Yeah, this is great work. Good job. Question as far as, is this in the current Janus showcase so we could start messing around with it now, or?
Yeah, in fact, there is it's quite new. So there is a pull request open on the Backstage showcase as well as on the Helm charts values. But there is still a bit work for this pair to be merged, especially because the backend plugin manager new package, which has been merged upstream, on which it is based, since it's still experimental work and at least on Backstage upstream, it's not final in terms of design, and still requires more upstream and community involvement, or them to adopt this more fully. Then this package on upstream has been made private, so we still have to. For now, I just pushed a version of this package on my own npm.js manually, just to be able to test all this and build this proof of concept completely. But obviously, what we have to do is to publish our own version of this package, which for now is private on the upstream side, Backstage side. We would have to publish intermediate versions, tracked ones, where we know exactly what is the upstream code we are using, to be able to refer to that in the showcase application and build that securely and seriously. So these are the more infrastructural or CI parts that we have to tackle in order to have this peer merged. Does it answer?
Oh yeah, that answers it. Thank you.
Any other question?
Do you think that this feature is going to be available on the next release of the Developer Hub preview?
The plan, so next release, no, it depends which one. 0.2, do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be available for GA, right?
Okay, perfect.
As far as I know.
I have a question. So can we install the packages from custom registries like Nexus?
So that's an interesting one. In fact, the way, so I didn't show the Python script, but mainly what it used in the init container to install the various dynamic plugins. But mainly what it does is run an npm pack on the package specs that are provided in this list, and doing that and then extracting the archive in a given root folder mainly. So everything that can be passed and done with npm pack can be used, which means that obviously if we would add in the Helm charts, and the infrastructure layer on top of that, some ways to customize the .npmrc or these type of things, then obviously we would be able to point to some other npm repository, or any type of repository that would could be targeted by npm by the npm command line. So that should be quite open quite a number of possibilities, I assume. Would it fit the case you're thinking about?
Yeah, it may hit right now, but I think in the long time, some authentication mechanism should be there, right?
Yes, probably, and that's probably the thing that we can think about, later on. But once again, at least in a kube-like deployment, then you might have some secrets stored somewhere and referred to by the npm or some token that you can refer to from the installation. So it seems to me that at least that it mainly becomes a question of configuration. Any other question?
Yes, I have many questions, but yeah, it's an exciting feature. So I have a question about how to install a plugin that requires a backend plugin that requires that today that we create a new file on Backstage, like a file on the plugins folder. I'm thinking something like the link that I'm sharing with you on the chat, because I am actually using that plugin, and that one requires that I create a file on the plugins folder and then add something on another file. How that's going to be achievable with the dynamic plugin? Because I saw that you share a section where you add the proxy config. And
yes,
how about this kind of scenarios?
Well, so I mean, yes. Mainly, we have to distinguish several cases here. I didn't go into the detail, but you're right. In the config map I showed, I allowed the ability to provide part of some app config related to the plugin. Then we merge all the various app configs of the various plugins into an additional app config, which is passed to the backend. But that's really for app config content. Now, if you have to, have a file available somewhere else for a given plugin, I mean, it depends probably on the level of, customization of specificity of this type of plugin. Maybe it can be designed a bit differently to take the content of this configuration from the app config, for example. Or on the other hand, you might be able to provide additional elements in the Helm charts values, so that you can mount this file from a config map, for example, at the place your plugin requires it to be. But then it becomes, quite heavy customization that should be possible, I assume. I mean, does it make sense, or maybe I misunderstood?
Yeah. No, it's okay, because I'm thinking, because there are several backend plugins that follows this same approach. Like the SonarQube plugin works the same. You have to create a file that it's called SonarQube DS, and many others. I listen on the instance that I'm working. I have like seven plugins that works basically the same. All the configuration is like basically creating a file with some config on the plugins folder, then and add something on the index.ts, and that's it. Usually it's the same approach.
So I misunderstood your question. In fact, I see now what you mean, and let me just take my VS Code to answer you. That will make it easier. There is still something. I mean, for now we are. Okay. Do you see it? For now, we are still basing the Janus showcase application on what we call the legacy backend. As you know, in Backstage, there is now a new backend which is still in alpha, but moving towards GA. But we are still using the old backend, which means that effectively, usually, if I take the showcase application, you have to, and the backend one, you have to add a given plugin. That's what you mean here, Argo CD or Kubernetes.ts.
Yes, exactly that. Yes.
So now you're pointing precisely the thing that has to change between a static plugin and a dynamic one. Because in a dynamic plugin, this logic, which mainly bootstraps the plugin inside the Backstage app, has to be pushed back into the plugin distribution itself. So let me show you, if we go into what I did to make the scaffolder, utils actions plugin dynamic. Mainly, I'm just, importing the Rowdy backend module utils, which is the one we want to use. But what was down in this TS file here, which now disappeared in my installation, I don't have any more such TS file. I mean, and even in the scaffolder, I don't have the Rowdy actions anymore mentioned. But what was down here, it is down in an additional untry point. Let me take the one related to legacy, which does exactly that. So mainly it instantiates a backend dynamic plugin installer that provides the expected contribution. So here it's a contribution to the scaffolder, but then you could have a contribution to the router or anything else. And mainly what you would put in this untry point is exactly the same thing as what you would put, what you were mentioning previously, what you would put into the code, and that generally is, described in the README of a plugin. Does it make sense?
Yeah, got it. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Thank you. That was my doubt. Yeah.
And that's a limitation of the old backend, in fact. The new backend system precisely takes care of all these initialization steps into how you define your plugin. So when we, in the future, maybe, in several months or next week or next year, when we are able to switch to the new backend system, such a manual change into your plugin to make it dynamic would not be necessary anymore. It would just, maybe just repackage it to include the private modules into a self-contained package, but you would not have any change to the source to do anymore. But as a preliminary step, as long as we are based on the legacy backend, we have to do this manual step in order to make a plugin dynamic. Yes, Jeff.
Hey, so this is probably me not knowing all of the details, but you mentioned the new backend system. I'm guessing that's upstream and backstage. They're looking at fixing the dynamic plugin problem a different way?
Well, not really. I mean, to be fair, we've been working, I've been working on this also with upstream people quite heavily, which resulted in the main component on which this work is based, so the backend plugin manager package, to be merged upstream. But since on upstream side, and this package mainly tackles both backends, the legacy one and the new one. Obviously, we are much more interested by the new backend system because they are precisely in the, heavily in the process of introducing the new backend system and migrating to it. But still, they also agreed, with having the minimum required things into this package to also support the legacy backend, which allows us and allows Janus to still be, start using dynamic plugins, even if we are still in the old backend. But clearly, in all the plugins that we are currently making dynamic, the goal is to support the two backends and as soon as possible, when the ecosystem is far enough in the new backend system adoption, we would happily switch to the new backend also for dynamic backends, dynamic plugins.
Gotcha. So this is kind of a shim in the meantime, and will ultimately be the same sort of functionality in the new backend. We're just kind of bringing that piece forward now.
Yes, sure. And to be fair, the new backend system makes part of it much simpler, but still the discovery, of the local discovery of the various things, all the questions about having self-contained packages and all this still stands for the new backend system. So there is it seems to me that their work on the work of upstream on the new backend system and our work on dynamic plugins mainly converge, and hopefully would converge upstream in a number of releases.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other question?
Hey. As expected, your demo was highly appreciated and a lot of people I got really interested in. So thank you, David, for showing us today. It's awesome, really awesome. In case we put the open forum before David to give him some time, there shouldn't be. Is there anything you want to add? Any topics that needs to be taken care of? Looking for my presentation here. Any new ideas? And no worries, I will put the recording later online. I will also fill the agenda with the stuff I couldn't write down right now. Yeah, then what's the time? So if there's nothing else, thank you again, David, for your presentation. Thanks everybody of you joining us. And then we will see again the next 2 weeks. Look up for the recording, check out our different channels we have, Twitter and YouTube, and for sure all our Slack discussions. And can't wait to see you all in whatever place and contribution area. Have a wonderful afternoon or noon right now. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.